All right, hello and welcome to the lazy Friday run of Solo Challenge. I am melted away back into my seat, so why don't you go ahead and kick your feet up and just listen in. Like, how are we doing today? We're playing some Terraforming Mars. Look at that. Poseidon, Terractor. Geez, if we get a lot of building tags and events, maybe even interplanetary. Colonies leaving something to be desired. At least there's some metals and whatnot. Floaters are more likely to be helpful than Miranda, but you never know. Lot of starting capital offered to us between loan and eccentric sponsor, and even supply drop if you need the metals. Not much for long-term production, maybe a little bit of heat between polar and mohole. No energy, which is too bad. More steel being able to be provided, more events. Space discount, Arctic algae's kind of nice. Early card, more heat production of all things. Eccentric sponsor might make sense actually on something like Soletta here. Again, it's hard to say what's really all that strong because there isn't much for production here. Right, even if I just skip out on Polar Industries to grab mining operations, all of a sudden I have 3 steel income and like no building tags that I want to build. So a little bit tricky. I think Poseidon might even be better than Terractor here, just because you get a little bit of income. Arguably Interplanetary is just cute because you get all that money from events, but again, we have nothing to use our steel on, so I guess Poseidon. I think I recently played Poseidon, but this is a weird run to waste Terractor on. I think eccentric sponsor, you get $5 less than the loan, but -2 income is really painful, and we actually have a card that can afford it. Then I want as much production as possible. A steel and 2 heat I think is better than 2 steel. Only because I don't, like, I can grab mineral deposit and I don't have building tags to play otherwise. We're going to try and get Soletta on the first turn, and everything else can live and let die. Use Soletta, $10 right there. Replace a colony. Again, 3 titanium would help me go space station convoy. But I actually wouldn't have enough to do that because I need to play Arctic algae first. So perhaps we just lean into the heat. We're not Helion, so leaning into the heat feels a little bit nasty. I think maybe we just buffer ourselves with some titanium here. And then I can't afford both of these, so I'll just take the Archaea Bacteria. A nice slow and steady start here. We carry a little bit of money left over from last gen, so we should have a pretty good gen. My heat is high, and Io is a colony in the game, so instead of doing my normal heat rush, perhaps we take a Venus bump. I would take an ocean, but I don't have my Arctic algae yet. This urban decomposer should be easy. I already have the city or settlement. I just need the city. Lava Tube has a really good city placement beside a greenery, and then perhaps some energy to play them. Then we play the Arctic algae. That way we can start having the government help us with oceans. And again, I could rush some things here, but we're just chilling. We're hoping to get some science tags before playing this. We have mineral deposit to make that cheaper. We have that titanium in hand just from that initial placement of our colony, which is why I thought maybe grabbing the heat production would be better, just to save us a little bit. More cheap oceans are nice. 3 science tags, it feels really hard right now for us. So I guess I do nothing here. We keep taking our heat. We could trade, but to what end? I think I have just barely enough. $1 here, then the $2 discount makes this 13 playable. If I grab at least 1 plant, I can get a greenery. So I actually, instead of going for the 2 cards, I'm gonna go over here. Another card that requires 3 science tags. Okay, well. Again, this is the lazy Friday. We are just chilling, moving along. Our heat is building up. Because we have Arctic algae, we are okay with the government helping us with oceans. This is all pretty meh. I mean, a plant income for the microbes, I guess. But I actually think I don't take any of it. We just heat bump. It's only Gen 4. We don't need to panic. If there was something to do that I wanted to panic for, maybe it would be... not even build a colony, honestly, because we don't have the energy to trade with them. And, like, right now I could trade for 4 titanium, but I may as well let that build up. I could trade for some heat. I could build the heat colony, which is what I was thinking might be nice. It does get us to a breakpoint for heat income that we'll get to next gen. And then the other thing is just to do a standard project ocean for 2 cards. And, I mean, that is also mighty fine. So maybe we'll do that. Ocean for 2 cards. Get a lot of plants. And look at that, we get some energy. Another -1 to income hurts, but hey. I have the 3 steel to really make it cheap. So, that's fine. And then do we go back to Venus bumping? Or do we take 1 more ocean just to really slam home the fact that we got plants this time? Fusion power... I mean, some science tags would go pretty hard right now. I need them in several ways. Right, because a science tag... or no, an energy tag would allow us to play this science tag, which would allow us to play this energy, but I think what we need to do is this way, and then 6, what do you, whoa, this one costs 18. 2 science, what? I just confused myself. What did I just play? I need a science tag for you and a building tag for you. Okay, I just can't play what I thought I could play. That's embarrassing. Yeah, because I should have just traded. Oopsie. Still, I think that it, like, I have a lot of energy coming, so it's okay for me to go and grab this card, get a little bit of money production. There's the science tag that should unlock everything. Heat's on the way. Oceans are strong. Yeah, time to have the government help us for Venus. Everything else is kind of just slow going here. Martian Zoo, interesting, but I don't have any Earth ambitions. That's what you get the tags for. Giant Ice Asteroid's just incredible. This could be the energy tag, but I already have the science tag to unlock the energy, so I think that's fine. Colonies board, again, nothing really to shout out here. I think I focus on energy, and to do that, I need to play a restricted area down here for steel. And then how much are you? I'm missing $1? That seems crazy. Are the colonies loaded? They are. Well, that's fine. We'll just use our $9 and get 2 more heat bumps, and this TR is hopefully going to carry us. I would have loved to get the energy finally hooked up, but at least we got a triple Venus bump card. And Triton should be loaded up at this point. Still, I wanted to trade using energy, but we'll see. I shouldn't need oceans. Shouldn't need any of this. Maybe the microbes are worthwhile, just because I have the synergy for it. But yeah, we get tectonic stress power. And then the big question is, do you even start this? Maybe. I think you grab a card. Callisto is not something I really care about, to be honest. And again, $9 to get this titanium, or I just wait till next turn and I have the energy. So I'm gonna hold $11, which seems silly. I could sell this card to get to 12, but 12 is not enough for 13 or 14. I guess I could sell the Equatorial Magnetizer as well if I don't think I'm gonna have enough energy anyway. Right, I don't need these cards. I don't mind getting this a turn early and setting itself up. And that really helps with the oxygen quite a bit. And the heat being as high as it is a little bit crazy. So really at this point, we just need to make sure that Venus stays on track. It's a bit late to be investing in materials. So instead we buy a card. Boo, bad card. We trade for 6 titanium. I think Giant Ice Asteroid is better for us, but I'd love to get over the hump of this Venus bump. But we just get so much from Giant Ice Asteroid, right? All the plants back, all the water adjacencies. Like, how do you not? Go here, go there. Bump, bump. Another cheap ocean off of that. You gotta. And now we have the microbe, so we can push this here. And yeah, I mean, that did a ton. Look at our oxygen now. 6. Already 6. Now I have enough money for some weird stuff, but not enough to buy a Venus bump. So we just pass. 12 heat in the popper. We take 1 more oxygen from the government. Oceans are done as soon as we get the ocean from the track. None of this is needed. A single oxygen bump would go really hard for us right now. Also, 3 energy for 2 titanium. Is that worthwhile, or do you just take the heat bump? I think you take the heat bump. You'll get a whole extra titanium next gen if we wait. Man, our card draw has not been on point. I have to say it. So what's better? I think plants and better adjacencies. I know that card would be nice, but I do plan on greenerying all the way through here. Heat is pretty much done, and it will be done early. We didn't get something to use our heat on other purposes, which would have been nice, but... Boom, bunch of Venus done. Ooh, we even got a Venus card. And then instead of getting more power, we do a Venus bump. And now the government can help us close in on Venus. Though, to be fair, our oxygen is really going to slow down now. We have 1 more bump from our microbes, but we have no more free plants from Arctic algae. Cheap Venus bump, though. That's nice. We could get the card draw with Protected Valley. So not a bad little card draw. The little card draw that could, you know. Now that is not the little engine that could. That's Thomas the Tank Engine, but who knows the difference? This generation, we are coming in for the titanium. Maxwell base. I don't think that does anything. Neither of you are Venus cards. Let's get that Protected Valley for a card. I shouldn't need more heat, considering that I already have too much. So again, every generation, I feel like I have $10 left on the table that I'm just not using. I could sell a bunch of cards that I don't plan on playing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. I mean, at least then I get a Venus bump, and that translates into a couple more dollars because I got the TR earlier. But yeah, we have 2 more heat bumps in hand before even talking the last generation here. Love to buy a city before this is over. None of this is good. We buy a card. That's a debatable one. Greenery. 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 Trade for titanium, just for the sake of argument. And, I mean... You're not going to be worth the points. You have no points. Greenery. So now we have great little city nooks and stuff. It's just a matter of getting the Venus track done. I'd also love to get some TR from any source here that would matter. Savior? Savior? 2 TR? And he uses titanium? Crazy. Let's go grab more titanium. Standard technology would have been great like 7 standard projects ago. I do have... This is a weird one. Do I buy the Venus bumps first? Just to make sure. Because you get a rebate on this, right? So Venus, Venus. Then Eos Chasma for the 3rd plant tag. And a bunch of plants. And then the 2 bonus TR. We have 6 plant income. And not enough money to buy a city. But we do have a city in play. So we can at least close that one in. And that's what's really going to hurt us. Let's look for life. Chance of a microbe? Nope. Good colony card. At least early game colony card. And then, yeah, plant income is high enough. Not enough way to get to 16 plants. So 4-point city. I mean, look, the city's so terrible. And the 4 points on cards is so terrible. But we did terraform the whole planet. And we just, by a miracle, got 63 TR. So for this to be a 2 out of 3 on such a lame run, only 83 points, like nothing. Generation after generation, holding on to money, right? 10 extra dollars here, 10 extra dollars there. Generation after generation, looking at the draft and being like, oh, I guess I'll grab you. I guess I'll grab that. No cards that were like, oh my god, Earth Catapult. Oh my god, Science Synergy. Oh my god, Microbe Synergy. Oh my god. You know, Arctic Algae was in our starting hand, and that was the biggest synergy we got. Now, granted, we did maximize it. We got a lot of oceans down with a lot of plants back, and then we walked along those oceans and made money, but like 83 points. Come on. Come on. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Ciao for now.